Hello there, Dragon's Den audition team. My name is Ryan Blais. I am a member of the Canadian Freestyle Ski Team. I've been representing Canada on the world stage for about 12 years, and likely if you've heard of me, it wasn't as Ryan Blais. You've probably heard the moniker Air Blais. Air Blais is the online athletic persona that I created, and I've been very active in the social media stream on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, what have you. And throughout the 2010 Olympics, I was voted as one of the top athletes to follow on Twitter. And throughout my my career as an athlete, I've learned quite a bit about how to leverage social networks, which actually turns out to be very significant because now that I'm retiring from sports, I'm transitioning into a career of social media consulting and mobile app design, iPhone apps, Android apps, and whatnot. The reason why that's relevant is because of the project I'm here to talk to you today about called AthletePulse. Now, before I get into that, I want to explain a little bit about the problem. The problem is that generally in Canada, fans are a little bit apathetic towards amateur sport. If you look at European countries, or even Quebec to an extent, they are very impassioned and eager to follow the athletic pursuits of amateur athletes. That's not the case generally in North America because the sports world is dominated by the pro sports, NHL, Major League Baseball, what have you. Now, the solution I intend to provide for that is called AthletePulse. And what AthletePulse is it's a new online community. Certainly there's been attempts to do this before, and there are reasons why that fails. So what I'm envisioning is an online community for fans and athletes to engage together. This is now possible in ways that were not realized before because of the powers of social networking. So imagine a community whereby athletes have a profile, so do the fans. It's a chance where the athletes can upload their stories, and we curate all of the content out there. So athletes' Twitter streams, their blog posts, their YouTube videos are all automatically curated in real time so that the general behavior of the athletes don't need to change. As long as they're active on the social media streams, the content will be curated in there. Further to that, we can curate the content of the Canadian sports media. A lot of the media is already putting content out there via Twitter, blog posts. Again, we intend to curate that on there. Now you have a platform, if you will, for fans to consume that content in a very engaging way, whereby there will be leaderboards and forums and the ability for the fans to engage directly with the athletes, and the athletes in turn to engage directly with the fans. Now, in order to do this, we want to break the model. The old model is to bring everyone to your website. That's a broken model. The new model is something called social media optimization, whereby you optimize your content to be shared easily and across the social web so that fans, in this case, can consume the content anywhere they want. If they want to follow AthletePulse on Facebook, so be it. If they want to follow the Twitter stream, great. If they want to access it through the iPad and the Flipboard app, absolutely. And that's the new model where we make the content consumable for everyone and anyone on their own terms, whether it's on mobile, on the web, or in some other new device that we don't even know about yet. We need to be ready to be able to do that. Now, the other piece of this is to ensure that the athletes are putting out great content for the fans to consume. For about 10 years now, Canadian athletes have been well trained for traditional media training. If there's a microphone in front of them and a camera, they're going to give a great interview. And the reason why they give great interviews is because they've been trained on how to do so. We need to do the same process, but we need to engage them with social media training so that they have the best practices and the know-how on how to produce the great content and to put it into the system, if you will, so that AthletePulse can curate it. So what you have in the end is this great community where all of the best content is bubbling to the top. Fans are able to filter to essentially consume the stories of the athletes that they want to hear about and to be inspired, and a great way for the athletes to get on board. Now that's going to be tremendously exciting to corporate Canada as well. So there's lots of areas for monetization, which I won't talk about at this point. One thing I will say is the time for this is now, and the reason being is there's 4 factors that I'm going to outline. The first one is Olympic fever. The Canadian athletes have ignited the passion and an imagination of Canadian fans like they've never done before. There's an opportunity now to take the captured fan base and to do something with this. As mentioned before, generally fans have not been very enthusiastic about amateur sports. That changed in 2010. We got to make sure that we don't lose that momentum. Secondly, social media. There has been a complete shift on the behavior patterns of people and how they consume data online. A recent Nielsen report indicates that a third of people's time online is spent on social communities such as Facebook. That is now 1/3 of the time they're there consuming data. The rest of the time is spent elsewhere on the web. What we need to do is we need to take the content that they're trying to discover elsewhere on the web and deliver it to them in those social media streams. The reason we do this is because then they can promote that content for us, and the data shows that peer-to-peer recommendation is far stronger than any ad you might see for AthletePulse that's delivered in a banner. So we're going to use the fans and empower them as advocates for our own platform. Secondly, mobile, or thirdly rather, mobile. iPhones, Android, BlackBerry. Now people have computers in their pocket. Phones is a misnomer term. These are powerful computers in everyone's pocket, and they're changing the behavior on how people consume data. So we need to create a platform that ensures that they can consume all of this great content coming from AthletePulse anywhere they are, anytime. If they're on the bus on the way to work, great chance for them to open up AthletePulse and hear the great stories about Canadian athletes. Fourth, this one's a little bit interesting. Bell Canada, as a corporate sponsorship, has provided smartphones to every elite level national athlete. This means that all of the athletes will have the hardware necessary to be able to push content out into the system, if you will, every day while they're on tour, while they're training. And pair that with the social media training, they're going to be able to do that with the best practices and pushing out content that's going to be ideal for fans to consume. So you tie all of those together. The time is now. I'm very excited to talk to Dragon's Den about this idea and ultimately to give them a chance to be a part of it. Thank you for your time. Cheers.